someone's ear is in danger of having the swamp pushed into it. Oh, yikes. Did not love that one from you, Jesse Eisenberg, but I did tolerate you more than I usually do.
Absolutely. I wasn't too icked out.
I've been tolerating him a little bit more ever since, I think he did an interview with like BBC where he's like, it really pisses me off that people associate me with Mark Zuckerberg. He's like, I know I played him, but like, I hate that man. Stop calling me Mark in the streets. And I was like, I can respect you for that. Thank you for, you know.
And that's fair, but here's the thing is that if his attitude is similar as like in like a pompous way, I also can't help it because I don't really associate him with Mark Zuckerberg. I associate him with that fucked up interview that he gave during Now You See Me,
which
I think he's
I'll
a
link
dick.
in the description below because I bet we'll reference this because I also feel like not to go on a rampage of the character assassination of Mr. Jesse Eisenberg because I'm sure he's like probably fine. I don't think he's ever done anything like actually like legitimately bad, but his vibes
he's probably a very boring man, honestly.
And I cannot help but wonder if the through line of like movies that portrayed guys like him, specifically like in this movie too, as like would never get the attention of women, like sort of incel vibe. I don't think it like
I was gonna say, Dara, this is an incel movie
to incel culture, but this is like everything he's in just gives me a little bit. I'm like, can we stop pretending like guys like that? What is this weird narrative? It's just like so.
I think this was okay. Contextually now, I think this movie takes on a life of its own, I guess, in that way, because it was 2009. What year? 9, maybe?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah, 2009. The incel culture was not what it is today. So it was quirky and like, it's the shy boy, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But watching it back now, you're like, that's a fucking incel.
Yes. Yeah, it's like a drop in the bucket, right? Where it's like, it's not really a huge contributor, but if we take a look back at all the things that have led up, it's like, oh, no wonder men today are the way they are. Because they've been presented with this image of like, you should be angry at the world and you should be angry at women. And it's like, well, duh.
Which also, but he's not angry is the thing. I think he knows he's a loser, which that's the thing today is that now we have the podcast culture.
Yikes. Cringe. Am I right?
But which any woman that wants to put out content, fucking do it. Because we need to battle all of these these fucking idiots that put out whatever they want. And boys, listen, because they're also fucking idiots. Mm-hmm. So welcome to the swamp.
We're two girl idiots.
Exactly.
Wow. And welcome. And we're doing ensemble cast films this month, and so we decided to do Zombieland from 2009, which is, I don't want to say near and dear, but it is near to me because
I was gonna say, I feel like when I met you, I would say that this movie was a defining, maybe not defining, but definitely one that you would have showed me and been like, you have to watch this movie.
Yeah, it was, my family loved it. Anytime it was on TV, we'd stop and watch it. Definitely like ran through the DVD. I would put this on at any sleepover. I remember anyone who like, you know, I thought it was a really cool thing to show people in middle school. I was like, this movie's edgy.
In middle school
this movie's edgy and cool, just like me. If you want to know a thing or two about me, watch Zombieland, because if we want to dive in, so in 2009, we were like 11 or so. So right at the age where it was like your parents would let you watch like PG-13 or like some R stuff, if it, you know, so it's like getting into, and that feels really edgy and cool to you. So this was one of the earlier things that like had a lot of swearing and a lot of like more adult themes, but it was like in a funny, punchy way that I like really connected with, because I also think my parents had like sort of that really for TV sarcasm kind of a sense of humor, I guess. So this really like I latched onto it a lot. But there is just this insane cultural craze about zombie apocalypses that happened in the like late 2000s, early 2010s, and I was trying to like read into why. And I guess it was this resurgence thing. It was this Japanese video game. Oh my god, I'm feeling so stupid now. What is it called? Resident Evil or something? Where
I think
that like really blew up.
Yeah, that sounds like the really iconic one.
Japan and Asia, and so they had a big zombie movement, and then it eventually, like in the 90s, and then it eventually kind of trickled over to here, and then it was the big thing with 28 Days Later, I believe, where it was like the zombies can run.
Yeah.
It was the big thing about making them
kicked
fast.
It off. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So it was this whole...
Because then zombies could run, and then you got Shaun of the Dead, you have this. I mean, The Walking Dead wasn't fast zombies, but you have, like, World War Z, you have Contagion, everything.
So it was this big zombie culture, especially about, like, you know, being the last human survivor kind of energy. And
and The Last of Us.
That's new.
That was pretty, I think it was pretty 2010s, the first one. 2013, the first Last of Us game came out.
I totally forgot that was even a video game. I was just like, that Pedro Pascal show came out 2 years ago. What are you talking about?
Hey, idiot, where are you?
But it was I who was the idiot. But I was trying to get into this, and I found an article from 2009, opinion piece on somebody's blog spot, so not even a real thing, but they were trying to make the argument.
I think that's more valid,
They were trying to make the argument, though, that vampires are in the culture when Democrats are in office, and zombies are in the culture when Republicans are in office. Something to do with reflecting, and they had a big table, and it was only up to 2009, and I would need to do more of my own digging to see if that is true today. But I almost am like, yeah, big economic crash in 2008, and suddenly we're all obsessed with like imagining what the end of the world would be like. I can kind of see where that logic would step in. Maybe not necessarily about like which political party is in office, but like, you know, how the political climate is, like what version of the end of the world are we imagining? Yeah.
Huh.
But so yeah, I wonder if we'll see a new resurgence in some zombie media. Maybe we should start writing a screenplay.
Yeah, it's been a minute. Oh yeah, well I mean, because The Walking Dead fell off like years ago. I mean, we haven't had anything. 28 years later is now coming out, which, mind you, I don't know. I don't think you've seen 28 Days Later. Mm-mm. I certainly haven't, because it hasn't been available to stream for so long.
But it is now, right? They fixed it?
I believe so, finally. I think finally it's on stream, which maybe I'll do that after this, honestly. I've been wanting to watch it for ages. 28 Days Later is finally coming out. I don't know what point I was trying to make with this.
But that maybe zombies will come back, you know? Who's to really say?
Yes. Yeah, who's to say? Because, I mean, we're getting a new Last of Us 2 season, which honestly, did you watch the first season at all? Yeah, what do you think?
I don't think there needs to be more of it. I don't know, but I guess there's more. Also, it's more about lesbians in the second game. It's
all about lesbians in the second game, Dara.
So I'm here for it, and I will be watching. Isn't Caitlin Denver going to be in it? I like her.
Yeah, she plays like the main villain,
lesbian,
quote. Not even, you would think.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you would think. Yeah, I don't know. What did you think of the first season as someone who hasn't played the game?
I thought it was fine. I thought it was really well done, visually. I thought the effects and the monsters and the creepy, the whatever they were called, the fungus
infected,
people or whatever. I thought that was very cool and different. And of course, I really liked the episode about the gay couple with Nick Offerman.
Obviously.
And that other actor who was just in, I saw the movie Opus the other day. It's Io Adibri and John Malkovich.
What did you think? Because I heard
bad.
It really is.
Not good. Do you know people who make that clickbait Twitter commentary about every movie's just trying to be the menu nowadays? And it's kind of well, it's very much that. It's it's rich famous people sure are weird. They run cults, don't they? It had good grounding that it could have said something cool and interesting. Io's performance was great. I just thought the overall story just didn't really have a solid. I don't know.
Because it's rich
they're
people
starting
trying
a lot of things.
it's
Rich people being weird and fucked. Yeah,
it's rich people trying to write about rich people also. So there's no actual like sense of self-awareness, you know? Because I'm assuming, mind you, I'm not assuming every writer in Hollywood is, you know, a rich person, obviously, but certainly a good chunk of them. So
I'm sure John Malkovich is doing just fine for himself.
Yeah, and any grounded take you have is just decimated by the fact that you have $100,000 in your bank account. So,
yeah, not great. But the actor who played Nick Offerman's dead gay lover in The Last of Us show, he was in that mediocre movie that I just saw. Not important, not about zombies. But I feel like in middle school specifically, it was the confluence of zombie culture really hitting hard in the United States, and the Hunger Games being also really big when we were in middle school, where I had this fantasy.
Hey, mind you,
Sunrise on the Reaping.
New Hunger Game just dropped. I'm sure librarian, of course, over here. I'm sure you know. This is no news.
I'm number 78 in the queue of 400 or something. I'm waiting because I want a physical copy, because sometimes, I don't know, e-reading like bugs me sometimes. So
absolutely, as it should.
But I might also try to copy an audiobook, because I feel like that will be good too.
I was gonna say, my good friend, shout out Zach, literally audiobooked it yesterday for 13 hours straight and said it was fantastic. So
oh my god, did the whole thing.
Yeah,
that's crazy. See, I did not read Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, but I
for a 500-page book, it fucking rips, dog.
And I saw the movie, and then I remember being like, damn, I wish I read the book. Because I just remember talking to people and being like, oh, I wish. And I was like, at this point, I'm like, too late. But for this one, I'm like, I'm going to get it on the ground floor.
Absolutely.
So that I can be with the culture more this time.
I will be purchasing, honestly.
And Woody Harrelson can play Haymitch again. I don't care.
Don't
even CG him down. Put him today.
Woody Harrelson can do whatever he wants. Okay, do you know? Okay, here's my thing is, okay, you get one problematic celebrity that you get to say that gets the pass.
He's not
Who
even
are you
that
picking?
Problematic. If you're talking about Woody
Harrelson. So, I mean, you could pick Tilda Swinton and I could pick Woody Harrelson. It would be fine.
Oh, who is my... No, I think problematic... I mean, my problematic fifth movie is probably like Borat. And I do think Sacha Baron Cohen is funny, but I don't know if I would forgive him as a person on that front. I think I would just like separate the art from the artist type of thing.
I think Woody's one of mine, yeah.
I know Woody Harrelson is kind of like... hypocritical in his like views, or just like has like wildly different takes on different subjects, because I guess he's like an insane environmentalist that he like demands that every movie set he's on be like run on clean energy, and he like is really about that. And I'm just like, that's so fucking cool. And he also like identifies as an anarchist, but then I'm like, then how also, I guess it's that sort of modern day like person who seems like they would be liberal, but they love Trump because they're like, yeah, he's just such a free thinker or whatever. It's like fucking bullshit. Like,
yeah, and I'm like, oh, you're just a fucking idiot. Yeah. Unfortunately, I would suck his dick in this movie until the wheels came off.
Well, yes, because why do you think I loved this so much? It's because I wanted to be him. Not even because I wanted to be the him in this scenario, that I wanted it to be the end of the world, and I wanted to be the fucking cool cowboy who's looking for the Twinkie. I thought that shit was so goddamn cool when I was a teenager.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I must admit that I think he is the guy that overall I would, of course, want to be in this situation. I want to be playing with my guns. I want to be in the backyard firing off rounds up into the air, just not giving a shit.
Firing rounds straight into Bill Murray's chest.
Exactly. I don't know.
So
has anyone not seen Zombieland?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, if you've ever been to a sleepover at my house between the years of 2009 and 2014, you sure have been.
Yeah, check that off your list.
But I think me, amongst a lot of other young people at this time, specifically, I do think young men, I think this was like a boy movie, had this like fantasy about a zombie apocalypse and being like, okay, what would you do? And sort of this like we're the last people on the earth kind of situation is like not romantic, but like a forced romance proximity situation where you can like pick the boy in your math class you have never spoken to, will never speak to, but you're like, I'm gonna imagine that it's like you and I have to like run through the middle school and fight off the zombies. It's like I'm so good at killing the zombies that you're like into me, and that was like where my mind would go.
Sure.
In, you know, when you see the cute boy in math class was always my like, what? How would we plan out? Oh, we'd have to live in a bunker together.
Oh
like,
no, yeah. Yeah, we're rationing our food, but we're still having fun.
Exactly.
The zombie apocalypse isn't that bad.
But so I feel like this movie and a lot of this media, it ends up feeling very incel-y today, like looking back, because of that. I think a lot of young men and me were into this idea. No, into this idea though, is if you're in the zombie apocalypse and then you get there and then, you know, you're with Emma Stone, you're Jesse Eisenberg and you're lame and you're with Emma Stone, and suddenly it's on the two of you to restore humanity. Yeah. You have to procreate. It's
what are you gonna do?
We're gonna save humanity. We have to fuck. That's like literally, it's suddenly a moral thing. It's not even like, it doesn't even matter if we like each other. It's like we morally have to do it.
I'm so sorry. We have to fuck each other. I don't want it either, but we have to.
And that was the most romantic thing I think any of us could possibly think of.
Well, yeah, you're in the 8th grade. It's the boy that doesn't like you, but in your fantasy. You're
it's
like, what?
Well, we're gonna have to. Except in the fantasy, it's like I never had to get pregnant. It's just like I get to be the boy. I think.
Which also fair, because Woody Harrelson flexed a couple of times in this, and I said, "Oh, I want that for me." Oh,
I'm gonna chew on him.
Exactly. I'm like, I can see your tendons really visibly, and that's doing a lot.
Yeah. I guess he is one that he's like not hot, but then in certain roles, like as Haymitch, and then here, it's like, no, you can really, it's proof that any man or anyone really you can flip it around. You can be kind of not that hot, but if you have a certain aura about you will be so fuckable.
Yep, give me a little bit of zest, and that's literally all I need. Nothing crazy. I do want to bring up the precocious 13-year-old, though, because I don't usually get very annoyed by it. I know you do. This annoyed me a lot, so I could imagine watching it back at this age.
Yeah,
it might have irked you a bit.
No, even as a teen, I don't think I liked the Abigail Breslin character.
Take her out.
Because they were, she, for a 13-year-old, is like, she's too mature at some points, and then she's too immature at other points. And as a teen, I always hated the precocious teen, because I'm like, that's not actually, I'm a precocious teen, bitch. That's not how I talk. So I always felt very... You were smarter than to say, let's go to the fucking circus. You're not that stupid at 13 years old. You know, I think, at least knowing you would have known better. Say, let's find a secluded area and relax. Okay, maybe not at 13. In middle school, I was writing up the fan fictions about, you know, it's the end days, and there's only 10 of us left.
Yeah,
you know?
What are we gonna do? You were running the Hunger Games fan fiction gambit on.
And that's also I think how I would try to like flirt. I think I'd be like, oh, what weapon would you pick if you had to fight the zombies? Like what flamethrower? Like what are we talking here?
No. But what would be your weapon now that we're getting into it?
I have always thought, you know, like a double daggers, like close range, it's like sexy and cool, but I couldn't pull it off. But if in my perfect world, I'm like a fucking cool, like ninja.
Yeah, like I see you in slow-mo, like.
But, and you know, as like a small young girl, you want to be like the fast. But I think
you should have just watched. I think you just needed to watch Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon as a young person.
Oh, I love that movie. Yeah. Then maybe I would be like good at like dance or something. Then maybe I would have like taken to something other than if I had a time machine, I would go back
Yeah.
2007, right before the housing market crash. I'm going to tell my parents it's going to be okay. And what I need you to do is use any scrap of imagination you can muster in your brain to write a coffee table book. Take something that already exists. Like, I remember from you'd walk into any goddamn Newberry Comics and there'd be a whole bookshelf of Pride, Prejudice, and Zombies, Alice in Zombieland. Just take an existing IP and change the word person with zombie and then sell it for $11.99. Oh my god, we're gonna be like, the recession is moot at this point. If you can just write a zombie coffee table book for them to sell
honestly.
at Urban Outfitters.
Yeah.
Sorry, but that was not the answer to your question. I think nowadays I'd pick a monster truck.
Oh, yeah, fair enough.
Don't even if that's my weapon. Yeah, like a plow or something.
I mean, okay. Let's be a little more reasonable. Let's talk like it's got to be like a gun or like a hand-to-hand sort of thing.
Guns really freak me out, so I feel like I'd want to. I like the flamethrower concept.
I kind of, for some reason, I'm feeling really drawn to a flail right now. Maybe it's just the zest of this movie. But if I had like dual action flails, that would be
stars.
Yeah, exactly. That would be so sick.
And you'd be jacked as fuck because those things are
absolutely
hard to wield.
Absolutely, yeah. Emma Stone, I'm sweeping you off your feet, girl. We're gonna les out in the back of that fucking Hummer.
If I could have any cool weapon too, I would want like poison needle darts on the end of my rat tails so I could whip my hair around and poison needle darts. I feel like that would also be a cool weapon that I could have.
Dude, yeah, you just got them tucked. You got them tucked into your little braids, like 3 on each.
And this is
like
a pitch. This is basically what we're doing right now is called Dungeons and Dragons. So if you want to get together with your friends, you just describe what different cool weapons you could have. It's a fun time for everyone.
Yeah,
and then I have a Morning Star and I fucking crush them.
Yeah, give us a few years until we transition until
we pivot. Oh my god,
until we pivot into a D&D podcast.
What were we talking about? What was my point?
A precocious 13-year-old?
Well, so I feel like Abigail Breslin really got locked in.
What's she doing now?
So I'm gonna break this down for you because I wanted to know, because I thought to myself, I was like, oh, where has Abigail Breslin been in the recent past? And like the last thing I can really remember seeing her in is that Ryan Murphy show. What was it called? Scream Queens.
Sure.
She was
ages ago, 2017 probably.
Yeah, and we were in high school. I was like, that's a long time ago. And I was like, I really hope that she's like happily retired or like only works when she wants to. Not the case. So Abigail Breslin, child star, Little Miss Sunshine, gets the Oscar nomination. Basically,
she was nominated for that?
Best Supporting Actress. Yep.
Fucking
one of the youngest nominees of all time. But she basically gets really locked in at this point as to be this precocious young girl, which I feel like it's always a girl character. It's always a young girl.
I've never seen a precocious teen boy.
Because they're always just like rowdy or violent or
I've never
whatever.
seen a teen. Do you know how many like basically children actresses that I've seen nominated for an Oscar? Dozens. Boys, nothing.
So basically, in a less of an Abigail Breslin specific sense, but in a broader sense, I believe that young women, young actresses, young, but as early as 5 or 6, you know, up through early teen years, get placed in this box of this precocious teen girl. And they're like, oh, she's going to swear and she's going to be so smart and she's going to, talk just like an adult. And then for some fucking reason, that then permeates outside the script. And then they treat that young actress like an adult on the set because they're like, you're in the scenes with the adults, you're talking like the adults. And suddenly they're treating her like it's an adult workplace where she's a fucking child. Needs to be way more boundaries, right? And so that's why I feel like the process of not necessarily grooming, but like unhealthy workplace habits for young actresses is like something we see all the time
constantly
with child actresses who then have some sort of big public fallout or mental health issues and all that because it's like a fucked up system, not being treated well. And so I think probably something a little bit similar happens to Abigail Breslin, right? Where she's these precocious teen roles and she's being very much treated like an adult very early on in her life. And then in some articles that I had read, we're getting then into later teen into adult years. She was in a very abusive relationship, which took a big toll on her personal life and her acting career.
Of course.
And she managed to get out of that. I think she's happily married now and is in like a healthy relationship now. But so also was dealing with that, also having problems in the industry where specifically on a movie, what had happened was the actor who played Harvey Dent in the Christopher Nolan Batman movies, that's just the first thing I recognized him.
Classified, sorry, the Aaron Eckhart?
Aaron Eckhart. Oh, yes.
Yeah. The movie Classified.
Yeah, so she was cast in this movie, and Aaron Eckhart, who plays Harvey Dent, that's what I know him from in the Christopher Nolan Batman movies, and who has a reputation of being a very intense method actor to the point of like violent outbursts. And
Here's the thing. I can't say that, but literally you should not be in this. You go work in construction. Go do any other job.
Already a woman who has been raised in, I'm sure, unprofessional acting environments is then put in this situation with this man who makes her incredibly uncomfortable. And she spoke up and she reported on it. And they immediately countersue her for holding up production. And they called her hysterical. And they told her that she was making things up. And so basically the textbook case of somebody,
Classic.
he was being rude and creepy to her. She said, "Hey, I don't think this is a good working relationship." And they were like, "Hey, fuck you for holding up our budget," basically. Suddenly, as soon as it becomes a money issue, they didn't listen to her and they countersued, and it was this whole thing. And I don't really think I think she dealt with that, and that was a really fucking shitty thing. I don't really know if she's acted.
Which I'm sure trying to jump back into acting after a very, very long time. I'm not to say that she hasn't done anything between 2017 and now, but Jesus Christ.
Yeah, and I'm sure she's just fucking exhausted as well. And I was hoping, I hope that she just got her good child acting paychecks and is just chilling on a resort somewhere. But it seemed, it seemed to have gotten worse for her. So Abigail Breslin,
here's the thing.
I am sorry. I wish I had been your agent or something. I wish I had been there to tell those men to let you have your 15-minute break, all right?
It always just feels like one step forward, two steps back kind of thing. Because I feel like yesterday I just saw a thing about Gwyneth Paltrow talking about how she didn't know that intimacy coordinators were a thing until she stepped on the set of Marty Supreme. And she was like, yeah, back in the day, you would just get naked, get into bed, and they'd call action, and you'd figure it out. And, oh my God.
But the really shitty part about her statement wasn't her being like, oh, this is a great new thing that they have so that everything is really transparent and comfortable, just keeps everyone accountable. Her comment was very much like, it made me feel old and gross and made me feel unsexy. And it's supposed to be, and just
really?
I'm like, yeah, and I was just like, bitch, shut the fuck up. Because why is someone ever being there a bad thing? Why do you need to putting more safeguards?
Which also,
it's really inhibiting your creative process.
Also,
shut the fuck up.
Respectfully, you are at work. I don't care if you feel sexy or not. Even if it affects your performance.
Act like it, bitch.
Act. Girl, that is your job. If you can't act like you're feeling sexy during a sex scene, hey, maybe that says something about your fucking work.
And if you have an issue with there being a rehearsal before where an intimacy coordinator explains, yeah, he's going to put his hand here, this is what the situation is going to be, going through it, if that is really, then don't do movies with sex scenes, then I guess.
If that's a problem for you and you're getting something out of the sex scene, then I don't think this is for you, and you should probably find a better lover.
Right, yeah, just the addressing of the intimacy coordinator every time it comes up, again, one step forward, two steps back, because I'm why are we dissing on this? I hate that.
Oh, well, speaking of, can we talk about fucking what's his name, the guy from the White Lotus that made that stupid ass comment the other day? That shit got me. I don't tweet very often, but when I do,
I did see your tweet. I did.
When I do, I'm mad.
You said fuck you, Jason Isaacs. Yeah, he made a comment comment about basically like him having a full frontal nude scene with his dick out, and how like the comments of it, and he's like, why do women get to be naked on screen all the time and no one says anything, but when my dick is out, suddenly every interviewer wants to ask me about it? And it's just like, do you not have any sense of what the fucking world is like, you idiot?
Hey, are you dumb? Hey, sorry, respectfully, are you fucking dumb? like literally generations of women have been put on screen and subjected to such disgusting things. And I mean, obviously, like one of the worst cases of that is blue is the warmest color, and that's one of the things that's very easy to point to. You had to show a fake prosthetic for 2 minutes and then talk about it in interviews, which you get paid to do. Again, like we said earlier, for 2 days. Shut the fuck up. Talk about your fake cock. Oh my god. Women have literally basically had to have full on sex with each other on screen for ages. Shown their tits, shown their puss, shown just about everything, and you have a full on prosthetic. You get the dignity of getting to choose a prosthetic to put on and show a fake dick for 2 seconds. The least you could fucking do is talk about it.
Well, what did we expect from someone so entrenched in the Harry Potter franchise? Yeah. That's Lucius Malfoy, if you didn't know.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, sorry. Really had to get that off my chest, everyone.
I was going to say, it's time to nut up or shut up. It's chocolate or vanilla. I'm here with Abington and Holland.
What's up?
And I'm Sturbridge, I guess. I'm telling everyone where we're from. They could Google that, though. I often have been like...
actually, don't Google Holland right now, though.
Yeah. No, if you just Google Holland, you're not going to get the town in Massachusetts, I doubt.
Fair enough, yeah. But don't Google Holland, Mass.
Yeah, we've had some crime in our area as of late. But that is neither here nor there. We're here to talk about things that we like or maybe don't like. Jen, my mom, she is going to host her interim podcast segment, Chocolate or Vanilla. She's going to say 2 things. We're going to say which one we like better. Jen, how are you? And is there a theme this week?
I am really good. And the theme is chocolate or vanilla of death.
Of death? Boom, boom, boom.
So chocolate or vanilla?
Chocolate.
Vanilla.
Chocolate. Chocolate, vanilla, or strawberry?
Chocolate.
Ooh, I think I'll go strawberry today.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go strawberry today, too.
I know, it kind of felt like, what is it called? Fool's Spring or whatever? It was
the fall spring.
That was today.
Yeah, it was beautiful today. First one is the Green Mile when they forget to wet the sponges, or Game of Thrones when they put Robb Stark's direwolf on Robb Stark's body after the Red Wedding.
Oh, so we're picking, epic death scenes. Honestly, Red Wedding, Game of Thrones, so iconic, but the Green Mile is really fundamental in my understanding of life and death, and also of the prison system. So I gotta go with not wetting the sponges, because that sticks with you. In middle school SSR, that sticks with you.
Here's my thing, is that I think that that's the thing that I saw on TV when I was watching The Green Mile that was like, oh, I shouldn't watch the rest of Green Mile. So I'm gonna go say not wetting the sponges, because I do think that was the more traumatic thing.
Okay, I'm gonna go with Game of Thrones. Next one is Mufasa falling to his death, Gaston falling to his death, or Clayton from Tarzan falling to his death.
Oh, yeah. Falling is not a way that I would want to go. I'm also trying to think of other iconic falls. Unfortunately, the first one that comes to mind is Poor Things, but that's not a fall so much as a jump. I guess I gotta go Lion King, because it's just iconic, right?
Yeah, I think early enough in your childhood development too that it really leaves an impact. Also, I feel like getting stampeded over, falling is bad enough, but then also getting trampled at the same time really just 1-2 punches you. So I'll go Lion King.
Yeah, I'm with you guys, but I'm actually going to go with Clayton in Tarzan.
Yeah, we were a Tarzan household.
That's for
up.
sure. I could tell.
For every once over we watched The Lion King, I think we watched Tarzan 10 times over. Like,
Yeah, I would watch Tarzan right now.
Don't make me put Tarzan on, please.
don't make me put on Tarzan
Don't
2
let me-
because
Next one is in the movie Death Becomes Her, the full head turn or the hole in the stomach.
both so iconic. Who's who on the poster? Is it Goldie Hawn?
Meryl Streep does the head turn.
Yeah.
Goldie Hawn does the hole in the stomach, right?
Yeah. I gotta go. But I had made up my mind before you told me who was who, but I'm gonna go with the head turn. I just feel like that is the more like visually striking.
Well, it just reminds me of Laffy Taffy when you were little and you twist it.
Ooh, yeah, the
almost.
the crunchy visual effects on the skin, like really does something.
I'm gonna go head turn with you, Dara.
I will also go head turn. So next one is toilet deaths. So when the dinosaur eats the guy off the toilet in Jurassic Park, or when Tywin Lannister gets killed in the toilet at Game of Thrones.
Oh,
Lots of good Game of Thrones deaths. Because when you said Red Wedding, I was like Rolodexing in my mind. I'm like, what? I'm like, that doesn't even place for me in like best Game of Thrones deaths. And the crossbow bolt on the shitter is how he deserved to go.
yeah. I'm gonna go crossbow on the shitter as well.
Yeah.
And he was one of the best.
Tywin for the sweep.
He's the best worst.
One of the best worst. Yeah.
Yeah, like love to hate him kind of thing.
Exactly. Yeah. I'd kick you with him.
Next one is accidental deaths when they kill Bill Murray in this one by accident. Or in Pulp Fiction when John Travolta accidentally shoots the guy in the back seat.
Oh, hilarious.
When they hit the bump.
Hilarious. Honestly, I feel like I have to pick this accidental Bill Murray death because I didn't want Bill Murray in this movie for any longer than he was. It was the right amount of time. I was like, thank God. And in Pulp Fiction, the exploding guy in the back of the car is what leads them to Quentin Tarantino's house. And
it's the catalyst.
And he did not need to be in that movie. We did not need him.
It was just okay. Okay. Thank God you brought this up because this was the exact same reason why I would pick the accidental Bill Murray death in this movie, because the whole thing in Pulp Fiction was just like a built-in reason for Quentin Tarantino to say the N-word about 600 times, and I'm really good on that.
Wait, did you see, not to interrupt you, but did you see that Jennifer Lawrence is going to be...
Yes, girl, you know I saw it.
So Quentin Tarantino, for those who don't know, has notably made it public that he only plans on making 10 movies in his life. And we're down to the last one, apparently, which is just like, I don't know, like, the way he is so not gonna follow that, the way that there's so totally gonna, like, what do you mean you're gonna stop doing the thing you clearly love to do after this? Like, I don't know, whatever. I just don't know why you'd put limitations on yourself like that.
It's stupid. I agree.
But apparently, for his last ever film, he's gonna have Jennifer Lawrence be the leading lady in this movie about, like, an aspiring actress in Hollywood, because all of his late movies apparently are about criticisms of Hollywood or fucking whatever.
Sure, whatever. I'm over him, but also I would be really, really keen to see what J-Law does.
Yeah, my ass is set. My ticket is bought.
I will go with this movie also. I thought that was just a spit take so funny, like when they did that. I had no idea that was coming up. Next one is when Indiana Jones pulls out the gun in Cairo during the sword fight. Or in Return of the Jedi when Han Solo hits Boba Fett and he ends up in like the sand monster.
The Sarlacc pit, bitch.
Yeah.
I guess I gotta go. I unculturedly have never seen the Indiana Joneses. I think I've seen the one where he rips the heart out, and that's really the only part I remember. Kalima.
That's the bad one. Bitch, I'm about to have us do Indiana Jones April.
I have a box set, actually. I have a box DVD set.
Shut up!
That I know, hence I need a DVD player. I just got Severance from my local library because I kept complaining. I was like, how am I supposed to watch this show when Apple Plus is so inaccessible? I'm not rich. How am I supposed to do discourse on Twitter? And then I was like, I'm so stupid. You can go to your local library and find DVDs. But then I was like, wait, also, I don't have a DVD player.
2 to 3 times per week.
Yeah, right, literally.
I'm going to go Indiana Jones on this one because, I mean... I believe from internet lore that whole scene was improvised, and he was either like sick or hungover that day, and there was a whole fight scene choreographed that he was just like, fuck it, and he just pulled out his gun and fake shot it, and it made it into the cut.
Yeah, I did think that one was iconic, so I'll go with you.
Exactly.
Next one is Twilight when they burn James the vampire, or Wizard of Oz when they pour the water on the witch.
This is, again, like, I always call back to the time that you tried to make us pick between, like, Harriet Tubman and Chad Michael Murray or something. And it's just like, there's such an obvious answer here, but I'm gonna pick the Chad Michael Murray of this scenario, and I'm gonna say James in Twilight.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I think that left much more of an impression on me, honestly. Is the blurry vision, you can just see the flames and Jasper ripping his head off.
And even I feel like as a child, like for Wizard of Oz, I always was like, that's a cop out to not do real violence. Like, I'm melting,
pretty underwhelming.
I'm melting. Oh, and then she's gone. I'm like, you dropped a house on your sister. You deserve something a little more than just to be a puddle. I don't know.
Yeah, I'll go with Twilight too because I'm in a Twilight mood right now. But Dara, I think if we check the tapes, I feel like it was Chad Michael Murray or Jesus.
Ah.
And I think it was Harriet Tubman or somebody else.
Was Harriet Tubman or the oh my god, Betsy Ross, I think.
Yeah. We love the fiber artist. We love the fiber arts in this household.
Don't get me wrong.
But, and there's a but.
It's a big but.
Okay, next one is some fun death quotes. So from Princess Bride, it just so happens that your friend here is only mostly dead. Or in The Godfather, take the cannoli, leave the gun.
I'll pick The Princess Bride because I'm surprised you didn't pick the quote, you killed my father, prepare to die. But I love, Emily, your sister Alyssa just apparently watched this movie for the first time, and her Letterboxd review was, who didn't tell me this is a comedy? And I was like, bitch, how did you not know? Like, that is the whole meat and potatoes of The Princess Bride. I mean, at least for me, I don't know.
This is me actively calling out Alyssa on the podcast because she listens to this on her way to work.
Oh, maybe
why the fuck didn't you text me and tell me you watched The Princess Bride?
I can't speak on if she had never seen it before, but her Letterboxd review was.
No, I can speak on it, and she hadn't.
I thought that was like required watching.
It's so up her alley, dude. Ugh, I hope she liked it.
Yeah, I think she did. I think she.
Good.
Next one is super. Oh, sorry,
I was gonna say I don't know that I answered, but I'm gonna go also Princess Bride.
I think we all agree for sure.
Oh, sorry, I didn't. I don't think I answered either. I will actually go with take the cannoli because my dad, R.I.P., used to say that like on the regular for no reason. Swiss Army Man or Weekend at Bernie's, where they towed around dead people.
I still have.
So I've never seen Weekend at Bernie's, but of course I understand the reference.
Yeah.
But I'm a Swiss Army Man ass ho. Love the Daniels. Love everything about that movie. Him farting to propel himself as a pontoon, like
brilliance, truly brilliance. I can't wait till when are they coming out with something else? I need to know what's in the works. Swiss Army Man for sure.
I'll go Swiss Army Man for this week, even though I haven't seen it, but I believe you guys. And that is it for things related to death.
Rule number 32, always pick chocolate. I don't know. Jen, we love you. Thank you for being here, and we'll see you next week.
Okay, I love you guys. Have an awesome night.
Love you. Bye. Wait, secondary White Lotus point, and then a good transition. I don't watch the White Lotus, but I've watched Sam Rockwell's monologue maybe every time it comes across my feed. I'm like, again. Maybe I will watch the show. And Walton Goggins, my lover. I love him.
Big eyes on that. Yeah. I listen. I feel like I don't encounter Sam Rockwell very much But whenever I do, he's always saying something fucked up, and he's really good at it.
Yeah. They're like, we need someone to play the most racist man ever. Oh,
Literally.
don't worry. Don't worry, we have got just the guy.
Sam, get the clippers out.
But a perfect and seamless transition is that this is an ensemble cast, but we're talking not just the main roles, we're talking minor parts too, because Mr. Mike White, love of my life, Mike White.
He makes his appearance?
He's in 2 scenes, and I
That's the
love
first thing
that
I
for
clocked.
him.
Yeah. Yeah, I was going to say, we have not talked about this actual movie that we're supposed to be talking about for
No,
a second here.
But, Zombieland, basically, Jesse Eisenberg, he goes by Columbus, and it's the end of the world. His neighbor is Amber Heard. He calls her 406. Amber Heard becomes a zombie, and he has to kill her. And he's like, oh no, the first time a girl ever pays attention to me. It's Amber Heard. And then she's a zombie. Woo-hoo-hoo. And then he basically, has OCD and makes this list about what are the rules of surviving the apocalypse. Oh, you have to limber up. You have to, whatever. And then he links up with Woody Harrelson, who's this good foil character where he's this gunslinging cowboy kind of guy, and he's like, I don't give a fuck, I'm just looking for Twinkies. And they're sort of this unlikely duo, and then they run into Emma Stone and Abigail Breslin, who are called Little Rock and what is Emma Stone's character called? Because Woody Harrelson is Tallahassee,
and the
Columbus, Little Rock, and Wichita. Wichita. They go by the names of the towns that they're going to because they don't need to know each other's real names because that's too intimate or fucking whatever.
Sure, whatever.
And, in a few series of one-upping each other, the girls steal the car and the guns, the guys catch back up with them, they realize it'll be just better to work together, they all sort of whatever, they decide
family moment.
Right, and that they're gonna go to Los Angeles because where Little Rock wants to go basically to party at the end of the world is this Pacific Playland, which is like a theme park kind of pier or I don't know, carnival place.
Sure.
And that's basically the plot. They
That's
go
the
to Bill
movie.
Murray's house. They go to Bill Murray's house. They accidentally kill Bill Murray. They fuck around. There's some romance. They stop at different pit stops along the way to tear up a gift shop and look for Twinkies at the gas station and all of that.
You're explaining this now, and I think I'm realizing where a lot of your hate for shitty subplots comes from.
Well, yeah, because
it's of course, and mind you, I can't say that it's one movie specifically that made you the way you are, but I think that this is riddled with shitty forced romance subplot.
Yep. And okay, to point out the subplot of this movie that irks me the most,
please,
is Woody Harrelson's character is oh, I'm on the run because I lost my dog. And he's like, I had a
John
puppy.
Wick moment.
I had a puppy who got killed. And then later, through some context, it's oh, it wasn't a dog. It was a human child. And he was a dad. And he lost his kid to the zombies, I guess. And that's why he's so keen to be killing zombies. Which is fine if it made sense for his character even a little bit.
To have a child.
But we have no other context than this one flashback where they wanted to do this bit where it's him with the dog, but no, then it's, oh, he was feeding the dog. No, he was feeding the baby. Oh, he's playing catch with the baby. Oh, he's throwing the ball to the dog. It was just stupid. It was a stupid reason to do a gimmicky bit.
Yeah.
But it's in the grand scheme of things, it never made sense. It never came up again. It never had any sort of resolution. It just should have been a dog the whole time. Keep it a dog. Just don't double back on that. Don't do this weird, subplot thing. It just doesn't matter. But a lot of these...
Just make it one or the other from the jump. Even if you made it a kid from the jump, I would still have more empathy for him.
Or then just build it into the character and make it make sense. But it was just this weird doubling back that I was just that is stupid.
Yeah, it really just felt like a way to get him to dab his eyes with $100 bills.
Which is hilarious. But
which I feel like they wrote the movie and then they wrote the subplot for it, almost.
So interestingly, it was a TV show. They wrote a pilot episode of a TV show, and the intention was that the TV show was going to be all these gimmicks, like each week has the tip of the week. Each week has the zombie. You know when the sister Eunice drops the piano,
kill of the week. Yeah.
They were going to do gimmicks like that in this TV show about this quirky found family surviving the zombie apocalypse together, and it was more that it was going to be a TV series, and then. Through development, they were like, we'll pick this up, but we want it to be a movie or whatever.
Sure.
And then weirdly, Amazon then doubled back after the success of the movie and was like, we do want the TV show. They made the pilot, put out the pilot, and then then they dropped it again and it never got made.
Sure.
So it was this weird, like, I think it was like 2015 or something. They went for the TV show and it didn't work out. And then there's also a sequel, Zombieland Double Tap.
When did that come out? Like 2019, probably?
2019. I did not see it.
Didn't see it.
I was
Emma Stone, I don't think, is in it either.
Nope.
She said, I'm good, girl.
Too famous. Yeah.
She's like, I'm in the favorite, actually. I'm all right.
She's like, I'm at the Oscars. I cannot be doing this bullshit. But I read the plot summary on the Wikipedia, and none of us are really missing much.
I don't imagine that we are.
They kind of just do the same sort of thing again.
Yeah. Have we talked about Emma Stone's eyeliner yet?
Oh my god, her bangs and her eyeliner, just her whole look in this movie was really so influential.
I was gonna say, it was one of those things that we were texting. I was watching this literally right before we recorded, and we were texting about it a little bit, and you were like, oh yeah, this left quite the impression on me, and like watching it and sitting there and thinking, I'm like, yeah, absolutely, it did, Dara.
Yeah.
I'm like, I can so see that.
The smudgy eyeliner and the severe bang and the like, I'm the aloof cool girl, but I'm also kind of funny, because she's Emma Stone, so she, always puts that into it. I just think
which I will say that you sent me someone else's Letterboxd review of this movie, which was what you're like,
oh, this is a fun movie, but this is not a funny movie.
Exactly.
Or something along those lines, which I totally agree with, because as I was
110%.
Oh, as I was watching this back, I was like, this is not as funny as I remember. But I'm like, no, but I'm still having a good time. And
exactly.
I was like, was it even ever funny to begin with? I don't know. I think it's just more of like a vibe.
Well, fun
vibes.
I think it's funny for the 13-year-old, the Twinkie Gambit and all that shit is really goofy. And I think Woody Harrelson is a lot of the comedic relief when it comes to this. But yeah, I couldn't even tell you that I let out a hard breath through my nose on this one.
I will say there are 2 times I laughed, and they were both from Bill Murray.
Of course.
Unfortunately. The reason we don't like Bill Murray, for those who don't know, is just that he's a fucking creep to women who he works with, and definitely throughout his entire career abused the power of being the funny guy that he got to get away with grabbing and groping his co-stars because it was a joke. And of course that basically still now is that people let that slide.
Of course.
And really it was, again, very much like Abigail Breslin. As soon as he stopped really being a big money maker for Hollywood, that's when it all really started to come out, when we started to take the allegations seriously, because he wasn't. But when he was the big cash cow, they basically were like, oh yeah, you can totally be as creepy to all your girl co-stars as you want. So just not a cool, not a chill guy. Bill Murray. Boo.
Okay, what were the scenes that made you laugh? Because the one that made me laugh, it wasn't even him. Honestly, it's after they're smoking weed out of the hookah, which now I really want to do. But
is that not a thing? Is that not a common?
Not that I'm aware of. No, you put the hash in it, and that's the thing. Yeah, no, people.
I guess.
I mean, maybe that's just me. I couldn't speak on it very much now. I think the last time I was at a hookah lounge was maybe fucking sophomore year in college. So, but the only thing about that part of the film that I really found funny was Emma Stone doing the really Brooklyn accent, being like, "Oh no, he's on the ceiling! Oh no!" And they're all in the Ghostbusters gear. And it's not even that particularly funny. Yeah, it's not even particularly, but it's just the impression. But what spoke to you?
Before my speaking, funny side note is that Woody Harrelson got arrested for marijuana possession on the set of this film, which held up filming for like a day because he got like taken down to the station because it was 2009 and weed was not legal. And I just think that's so funny that he like fully got booked for having a dime bag when they like smoke weed in the movie. Like I'm sure that wasn't real. I'm sure it was a movie prop, but it's just like, they're doing it in the film.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
What the fuck? But the two Bill Murray lines that like actually did get a good soft exhale through the nose from me. Were when it's like he's literally having his dying breaths, and I think it's Abigail Breslin says, "Do you have any regrets?" And he goes, "Garfield, maybe."
Yeah, that one is a
really
good one.
Got me. That one really got me. And then I think what is he? He's like, I'm not so good at goodbyes. So that'll do, pig. That'll do.
Yeah.
What a good. I gotta use that as my exit line now.
Honestly, yeah.
That'll do, pig.
Yeah. No, I was gonna say I think a lot of the giggles that got out of me was Bill Murray related because the killing of him and the gun salute afterwards was pretty good.
Also pretty funny.
Yeah, but I will say, also if Emma Stone looked at me and said, "Don't make me drink alone." Yeah, girl. Obviously, I'm facing a bottle of red wine with you.
A 1997 vintage.
Ooh. Okay, but wait, what?
Can I tell you something kind of devastating?
I don't know.
So,
I'll allow it, but
the
Be
Bill
gentle.
Murray role. The Bill Murray role, basically, when they were writing the film or whatever.
Don't tell me it was supposed to be like Gene Hackman or some shit.
Patrick
Shut
Swayze.
up! Oh!
Isn't that awful? So they had the whole plot line, basically, that they're going to go to Beverly Hills and they're going to go to some celebrity's house, and it's going to be the whole interaction, the zombie, and the memorabilia. So they had this long list of celebrities who they, Joe Pesci was on there. I think like they had a big long list of like guys it could be.
And Patrick Swayze was number one.
Patrick Swayze was cast, and it was gonna be him, and it was written to be him, and then he got pancreatic cancer, and Woody Harrelson called in a favor to get Bill Murray to replace him because they had to, do some reshuffling. But I'm like, imagine a world in which we got the Patrick Swayze version. I need to see it.
Wish.
I need to know. Yeah.
Because here's the thing is,
Ghost potteries with the zombies, so funny. Just Dirty Dancing doing all the Patrick Swayze bits as zombies would have just
actually
been so
fucking
much
hysterical.
So much funnier than Ghostbusters.
Absolutely. Oh my god. Yeah, him sitting Abigail Breslin down and putting on fucking Dirty Dancing, that's culturing.
Right.
Do you know how many times I've seen Ghostbusters? Maybe once, probably not all the way through. I don't give a shit.
All I care about is the song.
Yeah.
And actually, I own a pressed vinyl version of the song that has the Run DMC verse on it that they released in companion with the film. Gotta love that.
As you should. I just want to end this by saying one quick statement, considering that it was 2009. Thank fucking God that they did not shoot and try to release this in 3D.
Oh, yeah, I actually didn't even think of that. But I think one of the things I really liked about it as a young person sort of diving into like being a film enjoyer, I don't know, like the specifics of the graphics in this movie, the on-screen text, the use of like 3D block text integrated into the space, I think was something I'd never really seen before that I thought was so cool. And it could have gotten really gimmicky and stupid really fast, but I think they used it like just about, like if they had done it any more, it would have been hokey and too much, but it was right at the beginning, set the tone. I really liked that, and that really stuck with me. Yeah, just like the stylization, I think, of this movie.
Absolutely.
Really itched my brain.
Yeah.
And yeah, it could have been 3D and it could have been bad.
Absolutely. Easily. Okay, yeah, what do we think? Food, drink, you're having your boy. This is a boys' movie. That's for sure. Yeah. You're sitting there. I texted you this when I was watching this, and I said, this is a movie that I think you get drunk to.
For the boys.
What are you getting drunk with your boys to?
So, yeah, I guess this could just be like a classic, like slam, like some PBRs or whatever, whatever you and your boys do, I suppose. But my thought process about this movie was very much grounded in the same as it was when I was in middle school, that if this is real and it's happening and we need to think about what's going to go down, okay, with us, because I'm not really so much a Twinkie girl, but if it's the apocalypse and we're going to be scavenging the grocery stores, what non-perishable snack items are you going for?
Sure.
Apocalypse level. So I think we're going into the gas stations. I'm going to go for a Mike's Harder. Not a Mike's Hard, a Mike's Harder. You get them in the tall boy cans.
Yeah, you need as many fat girls that you can get from that, so
the Mike's Harder, I think I like the cranberry one the best, but honestly, just whichever one you can
Good
find.
on you for even having a favorite, because I couldn't tell you the last time I had one of those.
Oh, slam them in the car from the gas station, not while driving, while as a passenger. Or everyone always wanted Four Locos, and I was like, I want the Mike's Harder. I don't want the Four Loco.
Yeah.
We don't need to be doing all that. And my other like gas station, I don't know, snack or whatever that I feel like I would go for, the Ben and Jerry's would be go fast, because that's very much
easily,
perishable.
Yeah.
But in real life, in middle school and today, I love me some Half-Baked. And that is like the gluttonous, like teen boy ass kind of snack that I want. But if we're going for like the gas station snacks, the non-perishable shit that's going to be good for zombie travel.
Yeah.
So I like maybe like an extra toasty Cheez-It. Those are never going to go bad.
Sure.
Or like Oreos for sure. Are also going to stand the test of time. But specifically, I do want to field this question to you as well of like what hostess or hostess adjacent like cakey product, because I don't really like Twinkies, and I think snowballs are like fine as far as the ones that are the reference.
It's a ho-ho for me.
What's the ho-ho? Can you describe? Is that is it like a puck?
No, it's a
swirl.
Swirl. It's the long chocolate cakes that are swirled.
Is that the same as a yodel? Maybe.
Yes, ho-ho, yodel, something. Actually, no, I will change my answer, because I want the tiny chocolate donuts. Donuts?
Oh, fuck you.
That's
I hate those.
I love them. I fucking love them. Yeah, it's a sickness.
Sawdust in your mouth.
Yeah, it's disgusting. Can't get enough of them. Love them. It passed down through generations. Those are my girls. Yeah.
I would say I think this is one step above, so I don't think it counts, but an Entenmann's Danish is love. But if we're going for like the packaged snack foods, a zebra cake.
I forgot about those. Those are really good.
Zebra cake, or I love the Drake's coffee cakes, the two coffee cakes that come in the, I would say, the zebra cakes, the Drake's coffee cakes.
Zebra is good. Yeah, a zebra cake is really good.
I think that's it. The cosmic brownies have lost their touch on me in adulthood.
Yeah.
And I don't really, Twinkies never did it for me even as a kid. I think it's I didn't really like vanilla. I always wanted a chocolate element.
Yeah, fair enough. No.
Yeah, the little cupcakes with the swirly, the white frosting, that's the little loop-de-loops.
Actually, you know what I would go for is, and I don't know, they're not hostess, but they're in the hostess family. I grew up living with my grandfather for a number of years. So he would always have the oatmeal cookie sandwiches.
Dream pies, moon pies.
Yes. I would love one of those. I think that's what I'm locking my answer in on, a moon pie.
I think some are called like oatmeal dream pies, but I believe that a reputable brand is moon pies, and they also run really funny social media. They were like of the like, we're gonna swear on or like we're gonna say like corked up shit. I don't know, like very like a Wendy's kind of situation.
Yeah. Not quite on the Duolingo shit, which they've been going a little too hard with lately.
Yeah. We got to scale that back a little bit. The like corporations trying to be relatable needs to fucking end.
Which especially like here's the thing is Duolingo is also not good enough as a as an
language
actual
learning platform.
language,
Yeah,
exactly.
Invest more in that, please.
To be sitting there and putting yourself out there like that, like, I'm sorry, you literally couldn't even teach me basics of Spanish 1. I would still fucking fail that in the Massachusetts school system if I tried to learn Spanish on Duolingo. So step your fucking game up. If you're gonna tell me you're gonna teach me a language, teach me a fucking language instead of teaching me vocabulary. Anyways.
The other thing from the grocery store I would want to get my paws on is the ramen packets, not the traditional one though. You know the brand Shin, and it's the Shin black ramen. That would be my Twinkie. That would be the thing that I would be searching.
I think the thing
for.
You want to know the thing that I think I would actually be going for is, and I think I'm going to say that this is probably just a craving that I've had for the last month or so, because I got sick last month and this was all that I could think of to eat, is the freeze-dried mashed potatoes packets, you know, where do you know what I'm talking about? Maybe not freeze, but it's just like the
flakes.
Yeah. If I'm talking shelf-stable products, you know what I mean?
It's just a powder that you mix with water and it becomes mashed potatoes.
That's all I want.
Yeah. Yeah, those are nasty.
It's certainly nasty, but I think in the apocalypse I could really zest them up if I had to. So,
from that, I'm sparking off, and my final note will be the oatmeal that has the dinosaur eggs in it.
Sure,
I love that shit.
Yeah,
brown sugar cinnamon oatmeal with the dinosaur eggs that turn into the sprinkles. Ooh.
As you should.
That would be getting me through the end days.
No, I will say...
But what about you?
Yeah, I was going to say, I didn't pick end days type of shit. I think I picked elevated things, I guess. We went opposites on this. But if we're thinking, you know, Twinkie, obviously, what can I spin off of a Twinkie? Do you know what a real Twinkie is? A fucking eclair, dude. Go get an eclair. French eclair, Italian eclair, it doesn't matter. A nice, actual, like, real cream-filled pastry, go get that shit. I think you sit around the couch with your boys, and you have one of those, and then you also have, I found a whiskey drink, because you first meet Tallahassee, he's drinking whiskey, it felt very appropriate, you know, I'm gonna go his route, because he is my favorite character in this film. Called a Gold Rush. It's basically a variation of a whiskey sour, but you just use honey syrup instead of simple syrup, which sounds delightful. I would love to sit around the table with my boys, which means one boy, a butch person, and get absolutely slammed fucking drinking Gold Rushes and eating eclairs. So I couldn't think of a better time.
Me and my boys, and it's the most flamboyant gay group of people you've ever seen.
It's 9 butch lesbians.
Yes.
And then what are you going to follow this up with?
So my immediate thought is that there's a movie that is so similar to this one that I almost texted you and be like, are we just sure we're not going to do this one? And that's Adventureland, which is also Jesse Eisenberg working at a theme park.
Is he with Kristen Stewart's in that one, right?
Being kind of an incel towards Kristen Stewart, which is also a totally stacked ensemble cast. Bill Hader's in that movie. Just like wild.
Well, because here's the thing. I picked his other one with Kristen Stewart as my follow-up.
Which is...
American Ultra, he's a sleeper agent, and they both, like, go on a fucking basic, like, rampage type of shit.
Oh, I haven't seen that one. But, is it good?
I can't remember, but it's definitely in this sort of weird action-y like, also, why are they making Jesse Eisenberg do action when he is, like, a marshmallow, respectfully?
They were like, we're trying to make this, like, anxious everyman be this, like, protagonist, which I think when just then
every man is just anxious. You're not because here's the thing is you're not a hero. If you're trying to project onto Jesse Eisenberg, you should stop and reevaluate yourself.
don't be a hero.
Literally.
Just kidding. Oh my god. But I was also thinking of this really, really made me want to rewatch Shaun of the Dead. It's been a long time since I've seen that one, and I think in the if we're tracking zombie culture, I think that was one of the first ones that really took a big comedic swing on it as well.
Absolutely.
That it was. And this, I think, would follow in the wake of that the zombies are inherently kind of silly and funny.
Yeah.
Whereas I feel like we get less of that with vampires. I don't know if we're doing the vampire zombie comparison here.
Of course.
I feel like there's much more room for silliness of the zombies.
Yeah. Yeah. And what would you rate this out of 10?
6. Probably deserves to be a little bit lower, but definitely has some foundational nostalgia for me for sure, but doesn't really hold up.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it a generous 5, where it should maybe be a 4.5.
Right. Honestly, I feel like if they hadn't made the sequel and they hadn't really tried to do anything, if this was just stand alone, and if maybe some of these, calling Emma Stone a marriageable woman, if we could have cut some of those, if we could have nipped some of that inceliness in the bud early, I think we could have avoided some of those deductible points. But any regrets? Garfield, maybe.
Yeah.
Any rule number 1: always cast Emma Stone in your fucking movies.
Exactly.
Is my takeaway from this.
I hard agree.
And Abigail Breslin, if you're out there, I hope you're doing well. I hope if you want to act, I hope you can find some cool people to work with who will get you in projects. But also, if you're chilling and you want to never act again, I also think that that's probably super fair.
Absolutely. I hope you're living your best life, Abigail. We're rooting for you.
All of you are living your best lives. And thank you for letting us be the friends in your ears this week. We love you. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.